Okay, I just wanted to make this video to talk about some updates on the future of my channel, but mostly I wanted to talk about resellers in the Pokemon hobby. Now, I know a lot of people have talked about this, but I want to bring up a point that I think not enough people have talked about when it comes to these resellers. So just in case you're unaware of this, getting the latest Pokemon products has become basically impossible for a casual collector, someone who just likes the, wants to collect the cards, is buying like normally, like a normal consumer. It's impossible. You have to pre-order like this Prismatic Evolution set. You needed to pre-order the day it came out, the minute it opened, and hopefully it all didn't get scooped up by bots, and there's no way that you're getting it off the shelves. And then there's like a new 151 product that came out in Costco, and people are fighting over it and running into each other. And it's like, honestly, it reminds me of like Black Friday in the old days, which I used to love those Black Friday videos of people fighting over stuff. But that's literally, we're regressing back to that now with these Pokemon cards. It's crazy. And the point that I want to make about this, that not enough people are touching on, is that these people aren't making that much money. I feel like if I was, I've done some of the math. I'm not going to put it all up in this video because I'm just way too lazy. But if I feel like if I had the attitude of like, well, this sucks, but I mean, I guess I see why those people are doing it. They're making bank, why wouldn't they? I would be a little less annoyed. But the problem is they're not making that much money. Yes, their margins can be good sometimes. Like with Prismatic Evolutions, if they had, if they bought somehow 100 ETBs, right now their margins will be great for those because they're worth like 3 times or so, or maybe more what you bought them for if you got them all at retail. But margins change like that. They change so quickly. The Pokemon Company just announced they're going to print more Prismatic Evolutions. If they don't move all 100 of those ETBs while the margins are this good, their margins are going to shrink a lot, because, and a lot of people knowing they're going to print more Prismatic Evolutions are going to wait. They're not going to buy these products that you think are going to sell for triple or quadruple the price on eBay. If you buy 100 ETBs and you're selling them all on eBay or whatever, it takes time to move that product. They don't all sell in a week. It's time, it's effort, it's shipping things, it's driving to them from the post office, it's making all the listings. And I don't know if you've ever realized this, but if you have an idea that you think is great, but there's like literally tens of thousands of other people doing it, it's not a unique or good idea. So many people are doing this now. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are some people that have made a lot of money doing this reselling thing. And there are probably some people that when they got doing this early, even made a living off of it. But I don't believe the people that are doing it now are making a living off of it, are making a lot of money, and it's not worth the amount of effort you have to put in to ruin a hobby for everybody else. That's the thing. You couldn't pay me to do this. I don't care how much money they're making to ruin a hobby for everyone else. And don't go in the comments and say like, oh, well, you have a certain lifestyle and so you don't understand, blah, 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 blah. It's a hustle. I get that. Please take everything in this video with a huge grain of salt. Everything I'm saying is just my personal opinion. I know that other people are going to disagree with me, and I know I might not be 100% right on every single point that I'm making. These are just my thoughts and my opinions on this matter and what I think when I run into these things in the wild, when I run into these things when I'm looking on my social media and stuff. And it does bother me. And that's why I'm trying to get this all off my chest. So it's just lame. And to see people fighting over, boxes of Pokemon cards, adults, it's just a shame, honestly. And again, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking anyone's hustle. And I'm not saying that if you can go out there and make some, secondary income that you shouldn't go do it. I'm just saying I think reselling Pokemon cards is a stupid idea and it's ruining it for a lot of people. So why would you do it? I'm sorry. I'm just going to be, blatant about that. I collect Pokemon cards now because I collected them when I was a kid in the 90s. And I have a lot of fond memories from collecting Pokemon cards when I was a kid. When it first came out, I was watching the show. I was, my dad would take me to the card shops back then. And back then, card shops were mostly full of, baseball cards and stuff like that. It was just they had just a few Pokemon cards. We'd buy the packs there and I'd open them like on Christmas and whatever. And even the smell of the cards, I'm weird. I smell the Pokemon cards sometimes because, smells like kind of transport you back to when you were a kid. So I'm not saying everybody has to have this same like connection to Pokemon that I do. And maybe some people even have more of a connection than I do. What I'm saying is it brings me happiness. It makes me nostalgic. I enjoy opening, packs and getting excited when I get a really good card. And if people just want to buy a lot of these packs, if they have the income and the extra money to buy a lot of these packs for themselves to open, that's great. Where it bothers me is when people, they're transforming this hobby that brings so much happiness to people into numbers as a business, right? It's, I need to get this many if I want to get this profit for all the effort I have to put in and all the shipping and everything else I have to pay for or do and gas money, whatever. So I need to buy a huge amount, and I'm going to go to the length of using bots. I'm going to go wait outside stores and then take I saw people in Costco taking like these entire, I don't know what you call it, like a big container that had like, 10 151 boxes in it. And when you start doing all that, I just think it just detracts from the hobby. It ruins it for other people that are in it for the love of the game and for the love of the product and the Pokemon. And that's when it becomes something that bothers me. So if you are watching this, you've made it this far, a couple things to say. Prismatic Evolutions, I believe, is getting a reprint. Don't buy crazy prices. Don't wait a little bit. Don't pay the crazy prices that these people are charging on eBay and other places for those ETBs and support these people that are ruining a hobby. Wait, and you'll get, hopefully we can get the products when they come out, the additional products, and when they print more Prismatic Evolutions. And for a few reasons, and partially because of how hard it has become to get Pokemon cards, I'm going to be doing Pokemon content on this channel still going forward, but I'm probably going to try to do a lot more comic book related content. Honestly, that's where I have most of my knowledge, and that's where most of my collection is geared towards. But I will continue to do Pokemon. It's just that with everything going on with it right now, it's become harder and harder for me to keep up with it and make relevant videos when it's become so hard just to get standard Pokemon products. I'm not going to put like crazy effort into getting or spend crazy money on Pokemon cards just so I can make a video of them because of this, crazy issue with the resellers and stuff. So that being said, also, I'm focusing more on my YouTube channel, especially with TikTok going away now, or, who knows, it might come back, might not, whatever. I have my biggest following on YouTube, and I have a lot of, ideas about content that I want to make. And if you have anything that you think I should do in my videos, I'm very knowledgeable on comic books. I have a huge collection of omnibuses. I have great at comics. I've got great at Pokemon cards. I want to talk about current events, stuff going on in the comic book world, including movies and stuff like that. So going forward, I'm going to put definitely more effort into making like full length regular videos for me to post on YouTube every week. And I'll continue on with the shorts that I do about, the different comics in my collection. If you want to see a bunch of comic books in my collection, just go to the shorts on my page, and I have a whole segment. I've made 120 something videos about individual comics in my collection. So again, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this whole scalper reseller thing going on in Pokemon. If you agree with what I've said, if you disagree with what I've said, just let me know. I really appreciate the watch, like, and subscribe.